Welcome back, football heads. This is Football Without Benefits. Remember this? Most of you probably don't. But here we are, recapping the season. All right.
Yeah, this is for the one comment that I saw. I was like, "Where's the fantasy update?" And I was like, "Oh yeah."
We were gonna do it every 3 weeks, but then we just said fuck it. So here we are, week 4. We're gonna give a quick rundown of the entire season. Okay.
Woo.
I'm not going to go over the score of each and every game because that's kind of boring, but we'll look at the general feel for the season, and then we'll talk about our thoughts at the end. Here's week 4, everybody.
Wow. Look at those numbers.
This is kind of where we started catching on that Jacob's team was pretty fucking good.
Yeah, just a little bit.
At this point, Satan Guy My Cock, which is me, was 0-3, and this is where I fell to 0-4.
Dang.
You can see
lost to fucking me.
I lost to fucking dad. I wasn't even like doing poorly because my opponents were scoring high, which they were, but my team was also just kind of scoring really fucking low.
I think I may have set Don's lineup that week. So that might be what you want.
I definitely had some help.
Let's go and look at it. Injured reserve. Out. Injured reserve.
Ouch.
How the times have changed.
Oh, Chris Thompson was on my fantasy team as well, and so was Aaron Rodgers. So I definitely feel the pain.
Yeah, this is the Zekening. I recall.
The Zekening.
The Zekening ruled, dude.
I recall Zeke. Then let's go on to week 5. Here we have Cade whenever he was still trying. I think he was starting Deshaun Watson. Let's go and look. He was.
Ooh.
He was in fact starting.
My backup quarterback.
God, look at
also got injured.
He had Deshaun Watson and DeAndre Hopkins, dude. Holy fuck.
Wow.
How the times have changed.
How fantasy was in week 5.
And here is where I fall to 0-5 after losing to Pizza Time.
Man,
Dang.
This was like where I was having the most fun in fantasy because Dillon just kept getting ground into the turf.
Yeah.
And that was just so funny to me.
Choopy and Astro Pancakes, neither of them really tried at all during the season, and here, everybody, is Jacob's only loss.
I forgot that he actually
and he
had
still
a
put
loss.
up 107 points.
He still put up 107. He would have lost to a handful of teams. Dad was actually no. Travis won with 80 points, motherfucker.
He had to play Choopy. So.
Yeah. Let's go on to week 6.
Man, I love playing against Choopy.
Ooh, week 6. Shoutouts to Esam, being the turning point for my season. I scored 111 and actually won this week.
Wow.
I thought it was never gonna happen.
Yeah, it was. Meanwhile, Travis, who did not change his lineup once, was still pulling out wins. Anybody who actually follows fantasy cringing at the fact that Kareem Hunt sat on his bench the entire season.
Yep. Fourth in position. Kareem Hunt. Rookie.
4th in position, Kareem Hunt, and at this point in the year, he was like 1st in position.
Yeah.
And it pained me every single week. I think this was the last week that I started Alex Smith before just going full Carson Wentz. We'll see how that plays out later in the year. Week 7. Satan Guy My Cock winning yet again. Holy shit, Cade scored 32 points. What the fuck happened?
Astro scored more points.
He scored more points by a lot. He started the bye week Deshaun Watson and DeAndre Hopkins.
Oh, that makes sense.
The bye week Amir Abdullah, the -4 Bengals D. Fun fact, during the draft, I made fun of Cade for drafting the Jags D incredibly early. And they just fucking crushed it this year.
Yeah, they tore it up. They were first by a lot.
If the website actually worked, which it appears it does not.
ESPN website never worked.
You would see that the Jaguars are first in position by a fucking hefty margin.
Yeah, just take our word for it. They were really good this year.
I mean, I'm taking their word for it, and I was in the fantasy league.
Oh, is this just our internet? Do we try to use the internet one time on recording?
Okay. No, that's fine.
Where are they? Fucking Jags the first.
Yep.
They scored 258 points, dude. Holy shit.
No, it's 208.
Oh, okay, 208.
Still.
That's still ridiculous.
That's more than Jordan Howard scored. and Jordan Howard was like a second rounder in most leagues. What happened again this week?
Jacob showed his dominance again.
Jacob scored most in league yet again. Let's just look at Jacob's team. Let's just look at his lineup. First in position, Russell Wilson. Second in position, Le'Veon Bell. First in position, Todd Gurley. Third in position, Zach Ertz.
Wow.
Look at this fucking line.
Yeah, his team was ridiculous.
These three players right here were the three top fantasy players. Just
This
out
is
of
a 10-man league, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so he just doesn't have a wide receiver or a running back 2. He only has wide receiver 1s and running back 1s.
Yeah. This is a 10-man league. Given a lot of the waivers were clean, like it was really easy to pick shit off the waiver.
Sense, yeah.
However, Jacob did not use the waivers.
Yeah.
So these are just this is his drafted team.
Yeah, that was his draft. That was his drafted team.
Yeah, he just kicked ass.
Shouts to Cade, paving the way for my playoff run.
Man, I was so upset.
Wow, that's a really good score, only to lose.
I lost to Jacob by fucking 3.5 points, dude. Let's talk about this for a little bit. Carson Wentz underperforms. Carlos Hyde scored 6.7. I foolishly started Amari Cooper because this was this was the week after he scored 38.5.
Oh.
So I was like, you can't bench somebody after they just scored 38.5, right?
Oh,
and
you should.
You learned.
And then he scored 7.7. And the score sheet doesn't tell the story the way it actually happened, but what happened is I had just the hugest fucking lead on him. And I was up by 50 points, and his only remaining players were Le'Veon Bell, Russell Wilson, and fucking Michael Thomas. And Russell Wilson scored 35.1, dude.
That's ridiculous.
Russell Wilson literally had the best week of his career. Put up 452 yards in order to beat me. And Carson Wentz, they were playing against the fucking 49ers, and he was just in fucking game management mode the entire game.
Right. Man, I remember that week. You're just like, yeah, no, I'm gonna beat Jacob. I'm like, yeah, he can still win. He can still win somehow.
Travis actually not checking his lineup, just with week 1 players beat NVD, so that's pretty funny. fucking Andrew. Let's look at this. He won with 58.
A win over Eric.
He did not have a running back or a wide receiver 1 or a kicker. And he still he literally didn't start a running back. That's fucking hilarious.
Eric didn't start a running back either.
Yeah, he started one running back. He started Alvin Kamara. That's pretty good.
Wasn't he on? Well, Adrian was on bye, right?
Well, yeah, Adrian didn't put anything up, but neither of his
no running.
Yeah, and he still
That's
won.
Amazing.
Shouts to Four Gregs. Maloney winning with a measly 79.9. I would have beaten all but 2 people this week, and it gave me a fucking loss. Feels bad, man. And then we continue on to week 9, and this is where it was me versus Dad contending for a playoff spot. And I kind of needed him to start losing. Unfortunately, Travis put up 57.7, but fortunately I played against Choopy, who scored 59.9. Right after beating Esam, Four Gregs then puts up 36.7 against Jacob. And this is the point of the season where Cade just stopped trying. He started Deshaun Watson for the remainder of the year, I'm pretty sure.
Ouch.
So
he's already gone by this week.
Yeah, he just checked out. Then the very next week, I put up 141 against Cade. And I needed Dad to lose to MVD.
This is where I started eating shit.
This is at this point in the season, Ezekiel Elliott is now actually serving his suspension,
which was a real bummer for me.
So Dad's team took a huge downgrade in quality. So that was great for me. We go on to this week, and then he beats Eric, just fucking crushes him. So that's fine. But I
quite the winning streak.
Yeah, I score 157.9.
Yeah, he was making an incredible.
I started off 0-5 and ended 6-6, so that was pretty good. My only loss was a very narrow loss to Jacob. My team actually fucking started performing as draft expectations did. I picked up Adam Thielen off the waiver.
That's a pretty good pickup.
Yeah, it's a pretty good pickup off the waiver.
Yeah, top 5 wide receiver or something like that.
I think he did incredibly poorly in the playoffs. Week 16 through 14 did not great. Actually, it was 12 through 16 would have been playoffs. Scored very poorly. Carson Wentz did pretty well, as he had been. Eagles defense. Played against Dallas. Ooh, that feels great.
22 points, pretty good.
Popping off against Dallas. Then the last week of the playoffs, I needed Dad to lose, and I needed to win.
And I was so like that game was really close up until the end.
And yeah,
Like it's neck and neck. It could be any.
he played against Maloney. Maloney's Antonio Brown scored 35.9. Thank you, Antonio, for paving my way to the playoffs.
You fucking ruined my week. Goddamn.
Dad's Jamal Williams waiver pickup. Almost,
Good pickup.
almost paying dividends.
Did I pick that up for you?
No, that was me.
That's a good call.
Yeah.
Very good pickup.
So the playoffs were then set, and let's look at them. It was me against Jacob in the rematch, and Maloney against NBD.
Dang.
How the playoffs work, you combine the scores of 2 weeks, and after the first week, I was 98, Jacob was 103.
Yeah, so still doable.
Yeah, Carson Wentz kind of underperformed. It was Eagles versus Seahawks. So my quarterback against his quarterback. Russell Wilson outperformed Carson Wentz on this glorious occasion. Marshawn Lynch doing it up. Doing a week, you know. That's all right. We're doing fine. And then we go to week 2. And holy fuck, Jacob's football team fucking gets turned up to 11 and it never comes down.
160-point week.
He scored 161 fucking points. Look at this garbage. Look at this week Zach Ertz was out with a concussion, and Jacob did not start his lineup. And this week Jimmy Graham played the entire fucking football game, and my player who played and was like top 5 scored the same amount of points as his player who didn't play and was top 5. Holy shit! Wow. And then the rest, and then just look at this.
Yes, what can you even do about that?
Fucking he
Bend
benched.
over and take it.
He fucking benched Russell Wilson, which ended up like being all right. It wasn't great, but Russell Wilson was playing against the Jags D, so respectable. Still put up a million fucking points. Le'Veon Bell, best week of his season. Todd Gurley doing as expected. Michael Thomas caught a touchdown. Jarvis Landry caught 2. What is a boy to fucking do? There's next week. And then we look at Team Lilat versus Pizza Time. It was a close one. Tyrod Taylor for MVD's team didn't do great. Vernon Davis, actually 40 years old, also didn't do great. Antonio Brown scoring points. There you have it. And then the next week, it's probably it's more Antonio Brown. And then the championships are set. It is Maloney versus Jacob. You can already see the scores. What's gonna happen? Maloney scored 141 points. But it didn't fucking matter. Jacob scored 171.6.
That's ridiculous.
Look at Todd Gurley, dude. Look at it. Fucking look at this garbage. Holy piss. 43.5 in the championship week. Like what's a boy to do? Holy shit. And simultaneously, whenever Todd Gurley has the best week of fantasy football since like Jamal Charles did in like 2013. Whenever he scored like 50 points. Simultaneously, Maloney's best player in Antonio Brown gets injured and scores 3.4. He tears his fucking calf.
There's his calf.
Oh, that sucks.
So, this is just another testament to Jacob's fucking luck.
Yeah.
He's rolling with his draft team. He did not make a single change to the fucking darts that he threw at the dartboard before the season even started.
Hey, him and Lady Luck, you know, they got that thing or whatever.
And whenever he played against me, my best player, Carson Wentz, tears his ACL in the fantasy playoffs. In the fantasy playoffs, then Maloney's best player, Antonio Brown, tears his fucking calf. Oh, and let's look at the final week. It doesn't change much. He scored 170
Again.
Oh,
no.
and then he scored 127.
Okay, gotcha.
However, Todd Gurley, you thought 43.5 was a lot. Fucking take a peep at this, 44.6
Holy
combined
shit,
for
man.
90. He scored 300 points in 2 weeks. 171.6. Shouts to whoever this is on
Silverwing.
on Jacob's friend list. And so cemented Jacob's place as the flop champion. Let's look at standings. Yeah, Jacob just kind of fucking crushed it. I got second. I got second in most points. What's fun to look at is that typically the person who places very highly, it's not necessarily how many points they score, but how many points are scored against them. And I'll sort by points against, and what do you fucking have it? Jacob at...
Yeah, not even 1,000.
It's like Jacob scored the most points, and it wasn't even fucking close. And he had the least points scored against him, and it wasn't even fucking close.
What's the average stat per week?
We can look at it.
Okay.
We look at points per game. He scored 121 points per game on average, and had 80 scored against him.
Any given week, his opponent put up 80 points. That is ridiculous.
Mine started out a lot higher than what it was, but then I started playing against people who were not starting a full lineup, so that's naturally going to dip.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's look at points against. Cade, turns out he had the hardest schedule. His opponent scored 105. Choopy scored 67.8 points per week.
That's above 50, so you know.
It is above 50, you are right.
It is above 50.
I ended up with the second most points for, and not even close to the second best record. Dad missed the playoffs despite scoring more points than Maloney. That just goes to show that it doesn't really fucking matter.
Well, there's only one stat that matters.
It's the wins. Let's go to scoring leaders. Let's have a hot gamer at this. 2017 season. Okay, I guess counting week 17, Cam Newton surpassed Le'Veon Bell, but we didn't play week 17, so that doesn't fucking matter. Anyways, help. Todd Gurley, look at this. Look,
351 points.
315. Let's go to running backs, because this is going to be a sad stat to look at.
Yeah.
350 for Todd Gurley. Next highest was 299, which was also on Jacob's team. Kareem Hunt scored. Just look at this drop off. Kareem Hunt didn't even play a single game in our league. Here was my first round draft pick. Also noted, Todd Gurley went in the second round, not even a first rounder. My first round pick scored like 30% less.
That's crazy.
But anyways, long story short, Jacob's team he just got incredibly lucky. Who'd have fucking thunk? Let's look at it. Actually, let's look at the draft recap to really cement things off. By team, let's look at Jacob's Google and Yahoo answers. Pick number 2, Le'Veon Bell, and then pick number 9 took Gurley at pick 22. He wasn't even a second rounder; he's a fucking third rounder, dude. I drafted DeMarco Murray. I'm an asshole. I drafted Amari Cooper.
Drafted the best player in fantasy.
Yep, yeah.
And then the second best number 4.
Russell Wilson went. Zach Ertz went 79. I picked Jimmy Graham a little bit before that. That's whatever. Antonio Brown, pick number 5, got injured. David Johnson, pick number 1, got injured. This was really just a year of injury.
Yeah, it was a really bad year.
Odell Beckham, number 4, got injured. Jordy Nelson just played like ass and also got injured.
Yeah, you got a bad taste of being old.
It feels fucking bad, man. Look at this crunch. I gotta get him money. I drafted fucking Eli Manning, dude. I drafted Reggie Bush.